I know creating real estate content can be daunting, and sometimes you just do not know where to begin. But today, you guys, I want to talk about how to create content around one listing. And you guys, this video is going to break away to the actual, there were supposed to be 15, but there's actually around 12, 13 ways to create content. I actually bought a new remote for my camera, and who knows what happened to the other one. The intro's not there, the outro's not there. But today we're going to talk about how to create content around a seller. If you do not know me, I am Cher Allen, and I train thousands of agents every year to scale their business by using their personal brand and leveraging social media. But let's jump into all of the ways to create content around a seller. On the way to the listing, I make sure that I get out my phone and I go ahead and I film the neighborhood, just driving through slowly on the way to the listing appointment. And then once I am at the listing appointment, I try to create a video really quick outside of the home. And I'm just like, hey, you guys, I'm on the way into a listing appointment, and hopefully I get this listing, but I will let you guys know as soon as I come out. After I come out of the listing and I know it was a great appointment and I know for a fact that they're going to sign, I'm going to go ahead and create a video right outside of that listing. I'm going to say, hey, you guys, the listing appointment was amazing. It went really well. The seller said that they're going to be signing, so I'm going to let you guys know once I get this beautiful home on the market. So you have your pre-listing content already filmed, so that is number one. So number two, once you have your listing agreement, we are going to go ahead and post this content. We're going to, of course, spread it out. We're not going to post it back to back because we're going to act like we went into the listing, which we did. And then once we come out of the listing, those are going to be probably, an hour or two in between. And if you want to, you can go into some context about the house if you want to, if you know you have the listing. After you have your listing signed, all ready to go, of course, we're going to hire a professional photographer. So one thing that you can do is before the photographer even gets there, I'd like to show up a few hours early just to make sure everything in the house is the way it should be, as far as like the pillows are fluffed. I mean, we want our photos to look as nice as possible because the photos are the first thing that everyone sees online. And so we're going to go ahead and get some behind the scene footage. And that includes bringing in your tripod, go ahead and setting it up, you moving some things around on the counter just to make sure everything's in the right place, fluffing a few pillows, throwing back a cover or two, making sure the bathrooms are together. But that's another piece of content that you can add into your stories. Just some behind the scenes. If you want to add it into your behind the scenes. Number three is when the photographer is there doing their thing, they are taking all of their pictures that they want to take. You are going around and you are getting some footage of the nicest parts of the home. That could be the master bedroom, the master closet, the bathroom. It could be a beautiful backyard. Whatever you think is really nice footage. The home is perfect. It's been staged, if it's been staged. If not, you have arranged everything and it looks perfect. So this is a perfect time to go around and create video in the house. It could be the kitchen, whatever the nicest features of the home are, just go ahead and create that content because you can use that either now with your behind the scenes or you're going to save it to use it later. Number five is once you have the photos and the videos back from the videographer and the photographer, you're going to use that content, upload it to Canva. If you do not have the home listed yet, you can go ahead and say coming soon. But if you do have the home listed, you can go ahead and post this on your social media. You can create a carousel about the property. You can also include in the carousel the neighborhood, parks, anything that you want to highlight about that home or the listing. You can go ahead and post that as well in a carousel, and you can post the video from the videographer. You can go ahead and highlight a lot of the things that are going on in the neighborhood. If this home is within walking distance of parks or a dog park, or if it has a swimming pool in the community, just go ahead and highlight everything, of course, positive about the neighborhood, and you can add that to a carousel. So that's another piece of content. So let's move on. Number six, of course, we're going to use our video for long form. We're going to post that on YouTube if you're using YouTube, or you can post it on your Facebook or LinkedIn, Instagram. You can post your video of the home in a number of places, but make sure that you check the music. If you are posting it on Instagram, make sure you're using your own music and not the photographer's music, because you do not want a copyright strike on YouTube. So just make sure you double check the music and that you're able to use it. And that's another way. The 8th piece of content that we're going to create is we're going to use our photos, and we're going to choose the nicest photo. If it's the photo of the outside of the home, the backyard, or a kitchen or a bathroom, and we're going to run a Facebook or Instagram ad so that prospective buyers can see your listing. So again, make sure you choose the most beautiful photos from your collection of photos from the photographer, and make sure you run an ad. So let's move on. So number 9 is the one thing that you can do that I like to do when I am hosting an open house. I like to show me printing out my flyers, as well as I love to show myself blowing up balloons. So we're going to get some behind the scene footage of you preparing for your open house. Again, when you are driving over to the property with your balloons and your flyers, we're going to get a little bit of the neighborhood, going through the neighborhood. And then once we pull up to the house, we're going to go ahead and go in. So let's move on to number 10. Number 10 is the open house. So around the open house, you can create a number of pieces of content. One is going to be once you get to the open house, I always get to my open house a few hours early. I'm going to go ahead and go in just again to double check to make sure everything is okay. I'll go ahead and get set up. I'll get my snacks set up, my waters. But again, I have my tripod with me. I am shooting some behind the scene footage of me preparing for my open house. And of course, we are on the camera. We are getting on the camera. We are just, hey, you guys, I'm at my open house today at 123 Banana Street. And I want you guys to come by. I'm going to be here today from 1 to 4 or whatever time you're going to be there. And you let people know that you are at your open house and you're getting ready for your open house and you're looking forward to seeing them at your open house. So let's move on to the next one. So number 11, once your open house is all set up and you're ready to go, I usually take about an hour before my open house to go around and meet the neighbors, bring them a flyer to let them know that the open house is happening. Of course, neighbors love to come into a new listing that has hit the market. They want to see what this house has that their house may not have. So neighbors are a great way to prospect, of course, because if you have this home listed properly and it sells over asking or it sells right away, you never know who could be a potential client. So you want to go around, and this is content. We're going to bring our phone along with us as we walk around the neighborhood. This does a number of things. It shows your followers a beautiful neighborhood where your listing is located, as well as we're not going to roll up in nobody's door and just be like, hey, neighbor, I'm here. No, we're not going to do that. But we're going to just kind of do a little filming around the neighborhood to show the neighborhood and show your flyer. You know, here's my flyer. I'm out passing out flyers to the neighbors, inviting everyone to the open house. And trust me, your followers will love that. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, you guys, we are at number 12. Number 12 is we are past the open house. The open house has happened. It's done. It's over. Now we are in the phase where we are under contract. We have this house under contract. One thing that we're going to do, we're going to use some of the video footage that we created or some of the photos from your photographer, or just a video of you saying, hey, you guys, I'm under contract. This house, it was absolutely beautiful. If you missed it, look out for some of my other listings that are coming up. Just something about the house, or you can use the video footage that you filmed and go ahead and put an overlay on it to say under contract. It's exciting because we're under contract. So let's move on to the next. Number 13 is it is closing day. It is time for the closing. So one thing that I love to do on closing day is just to create a mini vlog of my day. Again, we're going to get some behind the scene footage. I am going to film me headed to the closing. I'm not going to go into it. This is a mini vlog, so we're not going to like, oh, I woke up and I showered. It's not that. We're just going to go ahead and show us walking into the closing. I'd like to have my closing gift in hand, and then I'd like to open the door to the attorney's office or wherever you guys close in your city or state. And then I like to go ahead and walk up, and I'm showing me getting on the elevator, pushing the button. This is a mini vlog that we're going to use as a reel or a short. I usually don't use these for my stories. I use these as a reel or a short. This is how I use this. So I go ahead and I walk into the closing. I show me grabbing some snacks. I'm getting all of my snacks at the closing. Then I'm sitting and I'm just waiting. I'm eating my snacks. Then we walk into the closing. My clients, the buyers, we're all walking in. I usually try to get a little bit of footage of us at the closing table. Now, depending on your city or your state, we're not allowed to film any of the paperwork, so I don't include any of the paperwork, but I just do a quick little pan around the room just to see who's in the room. And of course, I'm going to piece all these things together. Once the closing has happened, the funds have funded, it is closed, the attorney is walking in. I try to get the attorney walking in, the handing over of the keys, everyone's shaking hands, everybody's happy. So that's another piece of content that you can create, and you're going to turn this into a short or a reel or a YouTube reel, a Facebook reel, an Instagram short, a TikTok. You can also put this on TikTok, but it's just a closing day video, which is always nice because everybody is happy. Let's move on to the next. Okay, number 14, keeping with the theme of everybody is happy at the closing, I am going to get my clients to film a video, some kind of testimonial of how happy they are that we are closed, how amazing I was, if you were amazing. Now, if it was a shady closing, just skip this part. You can just go on and skip on to 15. But if it was not a shady closing and you went ahead and your clients love you and everybody is happy and it was a smooth process, you can talk to the agent, the other agent, and you can even get them to film a video saying how great you were to work with. If you were great to work with, you could go ahead and get that video. So that's another piece of content that you can go ahead and create. And number 15, the last one, is going to be you outside of the house taking your sign. This is it. And if you ever had a closing, you know that there's a whole bunch of more steps in this, but I'm talking about all the pieces of content you can create. So you can go ahead and put that sold sign on it. You can go ahead and put that closed sign, whatever sign you guys have, and then you're taking your sign out. And that is how you can create 15 pieces of content around one listing. Hopefully you found this useful. And I would love for you guys to leave down in the comments if you are using any of these ways to create content, or if you have some other ways that I didn't mention, which I'm thinking right now, which could be a live. You could create a live. That's another piece of content. But if you have some ways that I did not mention, or some of these ways, or if you try any of these ways of creating content around your listing, please leave it down below. Also, I have a social media starter pack. And if you guys leave starter pack down below, I will give you my starter pack. But actually, it's actually really posted up in my banner. And as you can tell by the ending of this video, I did not record the end. If you gain value from this video, leave a like or subscribe. Also, if you would like my social media starter pack, which I think I mentioned, get it in above. And if you're a real estate agent and you're thinking about joining EXP, I would love to have a conversation with you to talk about you and your business. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I appreciate you all. Also, if you did not catch my other 2 videos on how to create content around a buyer, as well as if you don't have a buyer or a seller, watch both of those videos. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Alrighty. Bye, you guys.